Hello and good day. Welcome to the first part of this video. This lesson is all about sketching graphs of function. The following are the objectives of this lesson. First, at the end of this topic, you should be able to sketch the graph of a function using the information from the first and second derivative of the function. Second is, you should be able to sketch the graph of the function using the graphs of the first derivative and second derivative of the function. For this video, we will only be looking at the first objective. For you to be able to successfully sketch a function, it is expected from you that you are able to understand these topics. Here is the strategy for sketching graphs. As you can see, these might seem a lot of steps, but don't worry. Doing so would actually make things a lot easier. Let us look at each step closely. In step number 1, you should find the first and the second derivatives and note the domain of f of x. And since you already have your first derivative, it is now easier for you to be able to find your critical numbers. Note that taking or knowing the critical numbers of f means you should solve the equation f prime of x equals 0 and find for the numbers wherein your first derivative does not exist. It is also important to note that the critical numbers must be in the domain of f. Moreover, such critical numbers are the candidates for the relative extrema of the function. The third step involves the second derivative of f of x. You have to solve for the numbers for which your second derivative is equal to 0. Also, it is important to note that you need to find for values of x such that the second derivative does not exist. Note that just like in the critical numbers, the PPOIs must be in the domain of f. Such PPOIs are the candidates for which the function changed its concavity, which is also known as points of inflection. For the fourth step, table of signs. Step number 4 involves two sub-steps. First, create a table of signs. Divide the real number line using the points found in steps number 2 and 3. Note that these are the critical numbers and PPOIs. Sub-step number 2. Determine the signs of the first and the second derivative for each of the interval created in the previous sub-step. Here's an example for the table of signs. For the fifth step, using the table of signs, start filling out with your conclusions. Of course, you should base your conclusion on the signs for each row. Remember that you have to properly determine at which intervals the function is increasing or decreasing based on the first derivative, concave up or concave down based on the second derivative, where the function has relative extremum based on the first derivative, and how the concavity changes based on the second derivative, and any other conclusions that may occur. And of course, start sketching your graph. Carefully sketch the function based on your conclusions. On the next video, we will now try to sketch the graph of a function. If you still need more time understanding this topic, please rewatch this video, or if you want to immediately apply what you have just learned, please watch the next video.